Greetings to everyone out there. Yes, believe it or not, it is actually raining out there today, but indoors we're going to continue with our fourth tutorial on the Ketron event keyboard. Not sure what color the rain is out there today, blue, white, orange, yellow, or maybe it's purple. But tonight we're going to be focusing, or today rather, we're going to be focusing on the events. So part 4, what are we talking about today? We're going to be covering harmony, and effects. We're pretty much going to be focusing on the right part over here of our panel. Some of the good bells and whistles of how to make your sound sound pretty thick, fat, and what have you. Okay, in that piece I just did right there, we were using an AjamSonic guitar, but we also, as you could see, I was manipulating the effects over here. So let's dive in and see what we can do with our sounds for the most part. So if you notice, this time around, Ketron have given you access to the effects right on the panel itself. And if I switch over to our top camera, you can see exactly what it is that I am referring to in this particular case. So what we have over here are the knobs that control the various effects parameters, okay? And you turn them on and off by just simply touching on and off over here on the panel. So for example, if I have a sound and I want to add some delay, let me look for a sound that's going to be a little bit more obvious. Go back in probably to the guitar we were using, okay? I'm going to go, but that's already been done. Let me pick something else right here. Nylon figure guitar, okay? So if I do this just by itself, it sounds, kind of decent. It's dry for the most part. If I want to add a delay to that guitar, I can just simply touch that over there and then instantly have a delay on there. Okay, so if I switch over to the side camera so you can see exactly how I'm doing this, if I play, you can get a delay, right? Nice for guitars. Okay, but not only that, now we actually have a way to instantly on the panel control, for an example, how much of it do I want to put in there, right? And how much feedback do I want to add to the guitar sound. Now, like we said before in the previous videos, and if you haven't watched the other videos, please go back and subscribe to the channel so that way you can be alerted once we put up new videos on any of the Ketron products. All right, subscribe to the YouTube channel and also click on that notification so you're made aware of each time that we actually have content on the channel. So let's get back into the guitar. So I can actually go in there and add or decrease the feedback of that sound, and I can increase the level if I want more. Okay. And remember that most of these instruments, the secret in doing this sometimes too is that, most of the time keyboard players are just that, they're just keyboard players. When you play an instrument of this magnitude and you have various instruments in there, especially when it comes to the acoustic instruments, take note of how you play the instrument, right? So a keyboard player would normally play as a keyboard, but it sounds kind of weird. So you got to think like a guitar player. Most guitars are either 6 or 12 strings, which means that the maximum number of notes that they can actually hit at a given time is 6, right? So you want to make sure that you're using 6 fingers, not 10, right? And also when you're strumming the guitar, right, you strum from the top to the bottom and then back up again. So you want to think like a guitar player when you're performing this, okay? So for an example, okay? Okay, so we have that for our guitar sound, okay? Now, if you want to access the different delay settings, right? Again, you notice that the delay button here has a dot, like all the other ones over here. Simply touch and hold that, press and hold it down for about 2 seconds, and it's gonna bring you to the screen, which is like this, all right? If I now take you to the screen, you can see how it says delay, right? The different delays are there. These are different preset delays that were set by Ketron. And so all you have to do is touch the one you want, or you can turn the wheel and get to more below the screen. And of course, you also have 8 user locations. So if I pick user 1, for example, and I enter that, okay? Now I can adjust this the way I see fit, okay? And I can set and store my own delay in user 1 or any of the user banks, right? So I pretty much adjust the delay here on the sound can go back in there and I can actually store that in that particular user setup, user 1 for an example. Okay, so that's one of the ways you can make an adjustment, you know, with the delay. You can also do the same thing for the wah. Okay, if I go now to the top screen there, let's repeat the same for the wah-wah. Okay, and as you can see, the wah-wah is a line over there, so it's either or. Either you have the wah or you have the modulation, right? It's either or for the most part. So, and now let me tell you something here. This is another very good sound indeed, okay? Which works very well when you have the volume expression pedal, because you can control the wah like a real guitar player would using the volume expression pedal and assigning that pedal to the wah-wah effect, okay? So this is, you know, you can add that in there. Let's pick another sound like a jazz guitar. Now, if I move up to the modulation, again, the same applies to the, you know, same thing. How much level do you want? Okay, and the reverb, the time, more or less time. I go into the modulation, I can either do rate or my depth, of course. And the overdrive is if you're working with guitar sounds like the rock guitar, or, you know. If I go into my, let's see here, next page, I want to go into my nice powered. And of course, you can use the modulation wheel over here on the far left side of the keyboard. All right, and again, this is very interesting indeed because you can actually control this. As you're making the adjustments, whenever you get to the point where you are satisfied, just go ahead and simply save that as you see fit. Again, if I come to the screen over here, I do have access to various distortion settings that have been set by the company. And of course, you also have your user locations here where you can store and save your own distortion. So for an example, if I go to distortion number 5 and I press enter or touch that, it's going to load that preset in there for this. Okay, so that's pretty much for the most part when you're looking at the effects section over here. Again, you have to just pick your sound and set it up the way you see fit for your kind of music, and then go ahead and save that. Quick, I want to show you another button here called the harmony, okay? Now, don't confuse this. This is the harmony for instrumentation. This is not the harmony for your vocalizer. That's going to be discussed in another topic. The vocalizer, which is otherwise called Voicetron on Ketron, has its own harmony settings, okay, which harmonize based on what you sing. This button over here harmonizes based on what you play. If you're playing a note to the right of the keyboard, for example, I have this analog strings over here. When I play single notes, okay, you notice that it just, you know, just sounds bland, right? Single notes, nothing's happening. Now, if I play a chord on the left side over here, okay, what happens is that the harmony, the arranger, the keyboard harmonizes my right hand notes based on the chords that I play on the left side. Okay, that might sound too much, but a good example, it doesn't go too far, all right? So if I have the harmony off and I play, let's say, a chord over here, now I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to turn on the harmony and I'm going to play the same thing I just did right now. Listen to this. So again, if I turn the harmony off, Now this is very nice because you can actually play just single notes, all right? Even with the right hand, I can just have single notes here, okay? And if I have the harmony turned on, so it's pretty interesting how this machine can make you sound like the big bucks, right? Again, you are playing, but it's, you know, making your work effortless, right? So you sound like a whole orchestra, if just with two fingers for the most part. I mean, that's a beauty indeed. So that's, again, you know, some of the stuff. And the harmony can be changed. It's not just that particular fixture. So let me go in there and show you this on the screen. If, again, you see the harmony button over there, if I touch and hold that for 2 seconds, okay, it opens up this screen over here. So you can see, for an example, it says 2 hands, full 1, full 2, country up, and what have you, right? So the interesting thing here is you can set any kind of harmony type. So let's just do a couple so you can see. Country up, for an example. Press enter. So you see how I didn't, you know, I went ahead and played that same lick, right? Let's pick another one, okay? Let's go through and just pick another one so you can see exactly what's happening. Country down, all right? Now, let me do this. If I turn this off and I play this together with a style, all right? You can now hear how everything comes together. Let me do this. Here we go. Harmony. So in a way, it actually allows you to, you know, play simple chords and then actually add harmony to your individual notes. Now, of course, there are many people who say they'd rather, you know, play the full thing by themselves, which is also good, okay? But some of these are good, especially if you're playing live, to be able to just add simple chords to your harmonies, to your lead notes. Let's try this with this one. So again, you know, dealing with harmony notes and being able to add harmony to your voices. And we're going to cover a couple of other things also down the road with regards to that. But we just figured that we'll discuss this for today and try to keep the video short. And next time we're going to go into some other effects, and we're going to also hit the styles. I think that's where the brain, the power, and the whole major worthiness of the event shines, because we're talking about having live drummer, live bass, live guitar, live sax, live harmonica, live strings, and what have you, which you actually play and control live. The power of live control. We shall see you all in the next video. Ciao.